Coaching Cycle Part 3, Destination by Janet Pollard. Here are our learning goals. For the kindergarten students, it was to increase their attention span during whole class instruction by 5 to 7 minutes over the course of 5 weeks. For the practicum student, her goal was to feel more confident with student instruction by having the students stay on task longer. Here you can see our timeline with landmarks. The first week, I met with my practicum student to determine a goal that suited her time frame and her university requirements. We were able to establish a goal for her and a student-centered goal. The second week, we gathered pre-assessment data and co-planned, talking about strategies that were going to be used to increase attention span. The outcome of that week was that we developed a plan of action to incorporate more brain break, sequencing activities, and the use of positive reinforcements. The third week of the coaching cycle, we continued to track data on a seating chart using the strategies that we developed in our plan of action the previous week. At the outcome of that week, additional data was gathered, and the strategies with the most success were noted during our post-lesson collaboration. The final week of the cycle, we continued to observe and record student attention span and documented the most effective strategies. The outcome was that the implementation of the new strategies increased student attention span, and the practicum student is now confident teaching in front of the class. Some of our speed breaks for the students were Halloween and sitting beside their friends, so we had to make some seating adjustments. For the practicum student, she was more comfortable working in small groups. Some weeds that we came across were university requirements for the practicum student and time in the classroom, as well as holidays like Thanksgiving and Halloween. Our road spikes included, again, time, the holidays, university requirements, and a problem student that was quite a challenge and often affected the attention span of the class. At the conclusion of the cycle, here is where we ended up. There was an obvious student growth in attention span stamina, which helped build the confidence of my practicum student. Some factors that contributed to this noticeable growth were the positive relationships that my practicum student developed with our class, creating an importance for what she was teaching and what the students were learning. Then throughout her lessons, she included brain breaks and thinking activities, all the while consistently giving different forms of positive reinforcement. Here you can see in our results-based coaching tool that 52% of our class were meeting expectations, with 20% exceeding, just 16% developing, and 12% emerging. The follow-up plan for the students who did not reach the goal was to continue with positive reinforcement and changing the seating arrangement, moving those students closer to the practicum student or the teacher. My next step, I really look forward to having a student teacher and then a resident and having the opportunity to develop longer range, more in-depth goals with each placement. Some strengths: I developed a good working relationship with my practicum student. I was able to provide her the opportunity to visit some other classrooms and get a feel for different grade levels. I was very flexible in working with the university guidelines and scheduling lessons and observations. Some areas of growth for myself that I have journaled about: I need to work on my guided questions and techniques to support open-ended dialogue. I notice that I tend to ask pointed questions or make suggestions that don't provide the opportunity to think it through. That's the hazard of being a K-5 teacher. You ask a lot of rhetorical questions. I also think that I need to allow more opportunities for co-teaching and to allow that other person to take the lead and step back. My semester reflection. This was a very positive experience for both my practicum student and myself. I feel like I have a better understanding of my role as a mentor. It was a challenge to meet university requirements and implement coaching techniques with the limited amount of time, but we made it work, and we were both pretty flexible, so that made we made a good team. Some growth points: I have more confidence coaching a new teacher, developing lesson plans together and sharing space. I'm a little more comfortable with that. I'm learning how to facilitate open-ended dialogue. I'm flexible. I'm comfortable providing detailed feedback. I think National Board got me ready for that. As my practicum student and I were doing some post-lesson collaboration, she mentioned that she liked the structure of our classroom and the positive support. So my next step would be to support my student teacher next semester and my resident teacher next year. I look forward to it.